Actually, before we plunge into our CME, I think I must place on record and appreciate our registrar madam for she's able to so efficiently carry out her routine university files, her convocation work. Her daughter has delivered a little bit of complication, and then she's ready for a scientific session also. She's ready to deliver a lecture also. I think she really needs an applause from all of us. And as a token of, thank you ma'am, I welcome you. And as a token of appreciation from Department of Immunology, I'd like to give you a small thing, ma'am. Nothing big at all.
This is
ma'am, because it's
like lecture, I told you.
Yes, it is still a guest lecture, but imagine in spite of all this work, I think it's really great, ma'am. Please accept it. Sri Lakshmi, I request Sri Lakshmi, the head of the Department of Genetics, to hand over the talk. Thank you, Sri. Now, she's our first speaker for the day, and she's going to tell us about the medical aspects of Ebola virus. I'll just go into the small details later. Before that, I'll introduce Mrs. Vandana Sengupta, who is actually a wellness coach from an integrated wellness center, and I think it will be better she tells us about her center herself. And before we proceed on, I request our registrar madam to hand over the honorarium to Vandana Sengupta. And she is not only going to talk to us about the Ebola virus or the fears involved in that, but also about the positive attitudes. I think that is one thing which all of us require. Though we all have a lot of positiveness in us and we need somebody to keep kindling us and telling us, yes, look at the positive side of life. So probably she's going to tell us on that also. And why we chose this topic again, it was Madam's idea, because it's a very current topic, one. And the second thing is this WhatsApp, the internet, all that confuses the public so much. There's so much of unnecessary hype. Each time you see a WhatsApp, it says 25 people are dead in West Africa. And the toll has risen to 32 now. 3 have flown over to Mumbai. They have come off to Chennai. And the Chennai people are getting, kinds of information which is really scary sometimes. And it has led to our university staff coming and asking me, are we doing Ebola virus in our lab also, madam? Madam, I think that's the last thing we should think of at this point of time. I don't say it may not come or it is not going to be an epidemic, but still at this point of time, I don't think it is so weary a disease. Just to an example for this kind of media hype. Yesterday, I don't know how many of you went through this Yahoo mail. There were those icons which come before we open the mail. In that it has Amitabh Bachchan's photograph, and the heading says, "Death in Amitabh Big B's house." It was like, my God, because we're all Bhayangara Amitabh's fan. So we said, who's this? Who's dead in his house? And you open that and it says, a servant who's a very faithful person, who's been there for 85 years, he's 85 years old, is dead in Big B's house. So it's not that the death of the person is not a small thing, but the way it is projected, it's like Big B, and Big B is something is happening in his house and death there too. So it's just the way it is told which is to be different. So that is what I think she is going to talk to us about. And I have kept this in the thing with our Vice Chancellor and Registrar Ma'am for the university staff alone, for the first reason being, as I told you, just 2 days of fever triggers people's mind to such an extent that our lab is doing that test. Please do the test for us. Actually, the test is not that commonly available. Government of India has given permission only to very few labs to do the test. I think ma'am will tell you all that about. And the second thing is, people will ask you all probably, and your information is more authenticated because you all belong to a medical university. And it's better you know about what is the intensity of the Ebola virus before you tell the society or the public around you. That is why this topic and that is why this crowd. I request our ma'am to take over, and she's going to tell us about the medical aspects of Ebola virus.